Now I'm at the point you wanna be with me. I'm vibing out at a higher frequency, cause everything that I want and I'm gonna be, it's when I wake up, that's when I start to dream. Someone you love is talking down, here is the plan. Let it fall through like a handful of sand. Nothing happens overnight, what you must understand. If you dwell on the bad, then you don't stand a chance. Something you want upset, saying why it ain't mine yet. That's because now you have yet to change your mindset. People don't put their mind to rest while they're so wired. A lot of people go to sleep and wake up tired. Power of positivity and persistence. Say that I can, we'll just sit back and witness. Make an impact when our time is done. Make money, help people, and have lots of fun. Whoa.
Welcome to 2 Minute Drill, the first pitch-only show that features entrepreneurs from all walks of life competing each week for more than $50,000 in cash and prizes. Hosted by legendary entrepreneur, sports executive, and investor David Meltzer. 5 contestants have just 2 minutes to deliver their most convincing pitch ever. Who will fold under the pressure and who will thrive?
Congratulations, great pitch.
After the pitches are complete, the judges will deliberate to decide our champion.
You violated some amazing rules.
Will they rise to the occasion?
Give us more of your heart and your passion rather than what you felt like you had to say.
What is it that we need from you? Because that's where you're going to get somebody.
Will they blow away the judges?
I don't know, we're going to run off. Wow, that was probably one of the best pitches I've ever seen.
Will they be crowned champion?
You are the winner of 2 Minute Drill.
David Meltzer hosts 2 Minute Drill.
Everyone, we're going to do something fun today. And I want to first thank everyone. A lot of times our curses are our blessings and our blessings are our curses, determinative upon, of course, the meaning that we give it. And I was so blessed last week on my birthday to share it here and everywhere. And but the amount of love to stay authentic with. And I'm sure you feel this, Scott and Ramon. You know, sometimes when we're resident with so many people and we're blessed to have so many people in our community of people that help one another and know people that can help one another, the intensity of love takes a lot of effort to make sure that we stay authentic and get back to everyone appropriately with our blessing and love and appreciation for their acknowledgement. And so if somehow I missed getting back to some of you, I would like to acknowledge everyone. We had hundreds of people put in videos and all these things. I just want to make sure that if I did miss anyone, that the drawbacks of responding personally and not using AI or other people to respond is I am human and sometimes I miss people, but I promise you, I acknowledge you, and please reach back out if you'd like to have a conversation. Come here to the unbelievable community we've built. Ask some questions, ask for help. Tell me who can help us elevate our awareness and appreciate each other. But moreover, I'm going back to the basics today. I'm going to do a training, but first I'm going to hand it off to the nick of time, who's here in the nick of time. Nick, why don't you go ahead and set the room? Also, let everybody know where we're going to be, because we have 200 dates scheduled, set for 2024. And starting on Monday, we're on the move, meeting up, VIP lunch and learns and masterminds and speeches and meetups and anything else we can do to pour into our community. Ladies and gentlemen, the incredible Nick of Time.
Man,
That's my boy right there, Nick of Time. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get started in a minute once Nick sets that room over there. I want to share with all of you where we're going to be. On Monday, we're going to be in LA. Tuesday at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. Wednesday, we're going to be in Florida, and come meet me at the Rick Macci Tennis Academy. We'll be there with Rick Macci, the Hall of Fame tennis coach, Serena, Venus, Roderick Capriati. He's the one in the movie King Richard. If you haven't seen that, go see that. And then Thursday, we're in Atlanta to lunch and learn with the NFL superstars, including Andre Fluellen, helping me pour into the community in Atlanta. So all of you people in Atlanta, come see us. And then Friday and Saturday, I'll be in Nashville. Come and see us there. We'll be with the incredible Dr. Sean Dill, Dr. Lacey Book, Michael Chandler, just to name a few. And onwards on Sunday, we'll be at the Black Ops, the Ranch with Dan Fleischman out there in Temecula. On Sunday, we're off to Arizona. Then we're off to San Francisco again with Dropbox. And then we're off to the Super Bowl, Las Vegas, Nevada. So we got about 10 different things going on in the next 14 days. If you like to rock and roll, if you're in one of those cities, if you're close to one of those cities, come and join us. We would love to have you. If you can't keep up, email me, david@dmeltzer.com. If you want the 5 to Thrive system that I'm training here, we'll be doing that as well. And there's a text community that will alert you where I'm going to be, because I can't remember where I'm going to be. I'm reading off of notes right now. So it's 949-298-2905. And looks like the Nick of Time is almost done. So get started. Get your questions as well. We're going to learn how to sell today. Hold on one second. There we go. He's almost done. 298-2905.
Now, with that said,
all right, here we go.
Go ahead and turn it back over to you to get us started with some 5 to Thrive, and then we'll come back together here at halftime for some questions.
All right, love it. And I also love teaching to sell, because life is about articulating a value to exceed what we're asking for. And in the context of thriving, I've come to a new epiphany. And the epiphany is one in which has confused me, or at least I haven't been capable of articulating in the correct manner. So many people have asked me, David, do you believe that the more you give, the more you receive? And it has been a complex journey in order to facilitate my beliefs through articulating the ideas that I have, because it's so confusing. How is it that I know so many people, including in my own life and my mom's life, to the people that are most relative to me, how is it that in my life I tried or had intention to give to everyone else, but I ended up at zero? And how is it that in the 80 years that my mom's been here on earth, that she has given to her children, her community, she has given to the Sunday schools, and as a teacher, a second grade teacher, and given to Women's Lib way back when my dad left her and she went to get a credit card and couldn't get one in 1976, because women weren't allowed to apply for credit cards or have credit in 1976. But it's people like my mom that poured into the community and helped to facilitate empowering women, not just with a worthiness, but with financial capability to support their children. How is it that my mom's 80 years old and has lived a zero-sum game when all she has done is given more to everyone else? And the formula that all of us here, I know, in the Breakfast of Champions, believe the more we give, the more we receive, because we're missing something. And it's just recently that I've been able to articulate that it is not the more you give directly to the more you receive. It's the more you give, the more you're given. But most people don't receive all that they're given because they feel not worthy of receiving. They feel guilty and resentful and offended by receiving. They feel like there is a zero-sum game. And ironically, they end up in a zero-sum game because they keep giving more and they keep being given more, but they receive less. And if they continue to receive less of what they've been given, eventually, whether it's in my case, in my 30s, or in my mom's case, in her 80s, they end up at zero, a zero-sum game. I've been teaching people for years a value add world of more than enough of everything for everyone. And I couldn't articulate, I couldn't explain to them, I couldn't sell them on allowing this idea to continue to give with wisdom and faith all that you have, because you will receive more in a value add world, not a zero sum game. And I finally have realized and am capable of articulating a quantitative value to see what I'm asking for. In that context, I realized this epiphany of why people who give so much end up in zero. And the reason is, it's not just the more that we give, the more we receive. It's the more we give, the more we're given. So I need to empower people to receive. Because if you give more and receive more, if you give more and are given more, and I teach you to receive more of what you're given, then you'll be able to ask for even more, and then you're given more of more. You're given more than more, and now you're receiving more than more and more, and asking for more than more than more. Do you see the point? Now, by the time you're 30, you have more than more than more than more and more and more and more of everything for everyone, and so does everyone else. And by the time you're 80, you have so much more. You have come to the realization that we thrive by giving, by being given, and receiving as much as we can of what we're given. Not the more we give, the more we receive. Because if you don't recognize what you're given, and you don't accept what you're given, and you don't ask for more of what you're given, you will live in a zero-sum game and end up, whether it's 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, like my mom, at zero. So when we're teaching the 5 to Thrive system, yes, it's applicable to selling cars, Scott. It's applicable to selling houses. It's applicable to selling financial services, product solutions, and brand, completely applicable to. But the real energy, intention of what you do, say, think, feel, and believe within the context of the 5 to Thrive is to live in the world of more than enough of everything for everyone. So I want, just under a context, to realize the more I give, the more I'm given. I am here to learn the 5 to Thrive so that I can receive all that I'm given, and then ask for more, and then give more, and then be given more, and then receive even more, and then ask for more and more, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We want to live in a value add world, not a zero sum game. And the key component to it is something I've been teaching for so many years: how to thrive. How can energy create more energy? How can people buy from us and sell for us? Whether it is our product, solution, services, or brand, or ideas, or intention that they are selling for us. And this is how things aggregate. This is how they accelerate to appease the human nature of being able to witness or see the results that we're looking for, are better, closer to the time frame of our behaviors, because the behaviors that we have today have a distance of resistance to the results of tomorrow. And we can shorten those with the wisdom and faith. And that wisdom and faith is inherent in the 5 to Thrive system that I'm going to teach you today. So hang on, buckle up. If you want to thrive, if you want to be able to articulate a quantitative value to exceed what you're asking for, if you want to keep on giving and be given more and receive even more and keep on asking of more, then hang on tight and buckle up. It's time for the 5 to Thrive. Load up your questions. We'll do that at the end. But here we go. The first step in thriving is to stimulate interest. We want to stimulate interest, and we use an open-minded qualifier in order to stimulate interest. One of the discrete changes in the 5 to Thrive system is the size, scope, and scale of the total addressable community that exists today, which is what Scott and others are talking about before I got here. Is that never before an individual could have access to 7.6 billion people or so. We were always constrained by the economics and to the geography. And so whether it was 30,000 people, 300 people, 300,000 people, or 3 million, even The Rock, Kim Kardashian, Walter Cronkite, none of these people had access to 7.6 billion people, but you do. And so we need to have a different vetting system, a different qualification system when we stimulate interest. Because the intention of stimulating interest wasn't to grow the total addressable community. Today, the idea of stimulating interest is to qualify the total addressable community. We don't have to go seek it. We don't have to go grab it. It will come to us. It's already accessible to us. And so we need to qualify people by open minds, because open-minded people have open hearts and open hands. And the first step of stimulating interest is qualification. We need to qualify people by whether they have an open mind or not, and then institute the 3 no rule if they don't have an open mind at that time. Also noting that people that have an open mind a lot of the time have many options, opportunities, and touches of favor. Those people that don't have an open mind, but you are able to stimulate interest when they do, are great because they don't have many options, opportunities, and touches of favor. So you have a statistical greater success of talking to an open mind that isn't open all the time. But moreover, you have no chance of trying to articulate this quantitative value from a closed mind at that time. So we have a 3 no rule that allows us to, on the 3rd time approaching someone, if they still have a closed mind, to tell them, hey, this obviously isn't the right time. Let me know when it is. 50% or so of the time, you've accelerated them opening their mind, and 50% of the time, you never hear from them again, and you just fall into the context of not being able to speak with them when they have an open mind, because they very rarely do. But you're not wasting your time, because there's 7.6 billion people to get to. Not 30, not 300, not 30,000. And so we need to focus in on the qualifications today in the idea of stimulating interest by finding an open mind, and then using an open-ended question template. And by the way, all of these different things that I'm teaching, the 5 to Thrive, the open-minded qualifier, the open-ended question template, they're all available for you for free. David@dmeltzer.com. Don't lose that email. I will give it to you for free. If you want my book, I'll sign it, send it to you, pay for shipping and the book as well. So we then stimulate interest utilizing the 3 no rule, only talking to people with open minds, and we ask open-ended questions pertaining to the subject matter or topic that we want to talk about. What do you know about solar? What do you know about insurance? What do you know today with kids' education? That's a beautiful jacket. Where did you get that? We have to take an open mind and start a conversation pertaining to the subject matter or topic that we like to discuss, so that we can get to a point to find out, by being more interested and interesting, would it help you if? So we ask those open-ended questions about solar, and we try to gather the emotional and credible and reasons, so we can quantify a value of service that we can provide, and so that we can give to be given, and then practice receiving, and then ask for more. And so within the context of solar, or insurance, or financial services, or apparel, or supplements, or solutions and services, and SaaS solutions and brand, we want to keep asking open-ended questions and ask what they like and what they don't like about the solar, the insurance, the financial services, etc. And while we explore, by being more interested and interesting, while we explore what they like and what they don't like, we can come to a revelation, or we can reveal the value that we can give, so that we can be given more, and then we can receive more, and then we can ask for more. And so within the context of the subject matter or topic that we're discussing, I simply ask them about what they like and don't like, so I can get to a point of giving, which is, would it help you if? And then I trust, with the wisdom and faith that I have, that I will be given even more back, and to receive that. So I ask, do you know anyone that can help me, including that person? I'm utilizing the unbelievable mathematical equation of abundance, of more than enough, in order to effectuate more than enough, by thriving and building a community of people that want to help each other and know people that can help each other. In other words, I'm creating a community of people for a lifetime that buy from us and sell for us, whether it's our brand, products, services, solutions, or ideas, it doesn't matter. Within the context of transitioning interest, the second step of the 5 to Thrive, I now need to provide information that supports the the ideas or the value that I offered or that you have offered to me. So transitioning interest is a logistical area that so many people have a difficult time transitioning interest because they have and are great openers, but they're not great closers because they don't transition interest. They don't have the necessary information, the info that is in motion, the information that allows me to finalize the meeting of minds. Cause and effect are shared, and it's difficult for human beings to understand how cause and effect are shared within the context of what? A unified, abundant, more than enough system of thought. And so in order to get to that unified thought, we need to transition the interest from stimulated interest into a shared vision. And so we have to have the necessary processes and collateral in order to transition interest. We have to have the right systems, utilizing diplomacy, bureaucracy, internal and external resources in order to facilitate sharing the vision. And the first step of stimulating interest, of vetting an open mind, is required to be able to take someone who says, yes, I would love your help, or yes, I would love to help you, and transition that into what exactly are we going to do. Shared vision is a meeting of the minds, the combination of the abundant, unified system of thought that we all belong to. And yet, it's not going to allow you to thrive. It's like giving and thinking you're just going to be able to receive. No, it is the identification of what you're given and what you're giving in sharing of a vision. And your challenge is to be able to articulate the more than enough value that you're providing to exceed the more than enough value that you're asking for. This is the idea of value add. This is the idea of abundance. And so we need to look at and be able to quantify and articulate, actually speak what we know, right? No invisible assumptions. We address the invisible assumptions and provide an explanation of how I can be of service or value to you and how you could be of service or value to me. And we can exceed the value for each other because it's abundant, unified, infinite system that we're working in, not a zero-sum game. And so if we're capable of sharing the vision by articulating a value to exceed what we're asking for, we're 20% done. When our objective is thrive, to build a community of people that are going to buy from us and sell for us for life, we're 20% of the way there when someone says, yes, this is what you're going to do for me, and this is what I'm going to do for you. That's a shared vision. Whether it's a product, service, solution, a brand, an idea, whatever it is, picking up your kids from school, I don't care. In order to thrive in life, to build a community of people that are helping one another and know people that can help one another, in order to build a community of people for a lifetime that buy from us and sell for us, we need to understand that sharing a vision is only 20% of the way there. And it's that fourth step that allows us to thrive, to take us to the fifth, the amazing, glorious world of thrivation, of thriving. And so the acknowledgement, the ability to acquire knowledge of a shared vision and to be able to express or speak or articulate quantitative value of what we're giving to exceed what we're asking for. Because we know if we are giving, that we'll be given more, even if we're asking for something different. As long as we can articulate the reasons, impacts, and capabilities that provide the perception that we're giving more and are given less. It's determined upon the meaning you give it. It's determinative upon the invisible assumptions that you have. It's determinative upon your ability to articulate the quantitative value, the perceived value, and yet still know the bottom line. In every situation, as we share a vision and as we articulate the perceived value to exceed the value of what we're given from the person who's giving it, lies the real value, which is exactly equal. Regardless of the perception, regardless of whatever energy or explanation or ability that you have to articulate value. This happens all the time in speaking, right? Most speakers don't know how to articulate the quantitative value of what they're giving, and so they're given less and they receive even less. Understand perceived value and bottom line, aligned with your timing and risk tolerance. It is the alignment with the timing and risk tolerance of each party within sharing a vision that actually provides the real value. The real value of anything is the alignment with the timing and risk tolerance, not the perceived value of or the quantitative value that's articulated. It's actually just the alignment with timing and risk tolerance. If I can align what I'm giving you to your timing and risk tolerance, and you can align what you're giving me with my timing and risk tolerance, regardless of the perceived value, we both win. We both are living in an abundant, infinite system of thought, unified by the exact equity in what we are giving and receiving. And those who witness it are receiving the same. So how do we, when we stimulate, transition, and share a vision, get that 80% done? The fourth step in the 5 to Thrive system is to manage and develop that value, to maintain the alignment with the timing tolerance in which we articulated, and to provide even more, if it's possible, more clarity, more balance, and more focus on the timing tolerance and the alignment of the delivery of that value that we promised of would it help you if, or do you know anyone that can help me? And the better we maintain alignment in the timing and risk tolerance and the articulation of the quantitative value in which we have expressed with our best capability by practicing it, like anything else. If we want to get better at anything, we need to practice to progress, not to perfect. There is no perfection, there is only progress, and unfortunately, human beings are incapable of understanding or knowing progress. So what I do in order to manage and develop that vision is to actually create a timing and risk tolerance plan that indicates the timing and the risk tolerance and acceptance of the alignment. And I call it a go-no plan, which once again, I'm happy to send anyone along with the open-ended question template and the 3 no rule and the 5 to Thrive system and my book, david@dmeltzer.com. Email me, david@dmeltzer.com. It's free. So how do we manage and develop a vision? We keep the alignment of the timing and risk tolerance by utilizing a go, no, go plan. Whether it's a simple email that just reviews or confirms the articulated value itself, or whether it's an entire scoping or scaling that you charge for in ERP, SFA, CRM implementation by Cisco. It doesn't matter. Whether it's something, a shared vision that we're utilizing for helping each other for free, or whether it's $100 million deal. The go, no, go plan is a step-by-step way in order to facilitate alignment of the timing and risk tolerance that was articulated in sharing a vision. And it takes us step by step. And we also use the 3 no rule within the context of that alignment. So for example, in a simple articulation of value to exceed what we're asking for, the alignment of timing and risk tolerance is maintained or exceeded by the 3 no rule. So if you tell me the first step is to call you on Friday and I call you on Friday and you say, oh, I'm sorry, this has occurred, I can't, call me back on Saturday, that's 1 no. And when I call you on Saturday and you don't answer, that's 2 no's. So when I call you back on Monday and you tell me, hey, I really want to do this, but my dog ate my homework, that's the 3rd no. And so every time on the 3rd no, as will be indicated to you in the exercise that I give you, the 3 no rule, all you say is, hey, this obviously isn't the right time. When it is, call me back. And 50% or so of the time, they're going to accelerate calling you back. And 50% of the time, you'll never hear from them again. Even if they said to you, I really want to do this, but my dog ate my homework. It doesn't matter, because people don't like to disappoint. Most people are pleasers because they believe the more they give, the more they receive. And if they don't please you, they're not going to receive. But they're really playing a zero-sum game and just wasting your time and theirs. And so give them permission, give them an out to never call you back and not have to say no to you without any pressure or resistance or distance between your behavior and the results that you want. Help facilitate the entire process to thrive. Thriving is creating a community of people that want to help each other and know people that can help each other. It's facilitated by the understanding today of a total addressable community of 7.6 billion people. And my job is to get to as many of those people as I can, figure out how it can be of service or value. They can be of service of value to me, be able to articulate that value, and keep it aligned with the timing and risk tolerance for each party within the context of that shared vision. And in order to do so, we need to do 5 things. 1, stimulate interest of open minds. Utilizing an open-ended question guide in order to facilitate that stimulation of interest and prepare for that interest by providing information that's representative of how we shared it. Second step, transition interest. Have the inform in movement, the information that represents that in order to transition that interest to a shared vision. A shared vision is you giving and being able to articulate what you're giving and be able to exceed what the person you're speaking with is giving you or what you're given. But you also, in order to manage and develop that, need to be able and be open and worthy of receiving all that you're given. By managing and developing that vision, using a go, no-go plan in order to facilitate the timing and risk tolerance, alignment of timing and risk tolerance from the articulation of the value that you have provided and received. And if you do that, you will thrive. You will build a community of people, whether it's your product, service, solution, or your brand, whether it's your ideas, inspiration, intuition, or intelligence. You will build a community of people that want to help each other and know people that can help each other. You'll build a community of people that have alignment in the timing and risk tolerance and a capability articulating a quantitative value to exceed what they're asking for in both perception and bottom line. And if you do that, you will thrive. You will have a lifetime of people around you that buy from you and sell for you. And there's nothing better. Trust me. If you want to live life and thrive, email me, david@dmeltzer.com. I'll provide all the exercises, guides, and books to you that you need in order to do that. david@dmeltzer.com. Bless you all. Let's all thrive. Let's continue to grow our community of people that want to help each other, know people that can help each other. One of those people is, again, the nick of time, the best in the business, the greatest moderator I've ever seen. And he's always here in alignment with my timing and risk tolerance. Nick of time, go ahead, reset the room, and let's take some questions and bring some clarity to what may be very unclear to people right now with the 5 to Thrive system.
Absolutely love it. And thank you so much, David. There's so much value to unpack there, and I'm getting a ton of requests for questions. So doing a quick reset of the room here as we just passed time with David Meltzer's Power Hour, of course, in the best room in community on Clubhouse, The Breakfast with Champions. Let's continue to share the room with our friends, family, colleagues, anybody that we believe would benefit from this incredible conversation and community. And as a reminder as well, please make sure that as you have your questions for David, you're using that hand icon in the lower right-hand corner of your screen to request to join the stage, as we will aim to bring you up. And lastly, before we jump into these questions, a reminder that whether it's the 5 to Thrive guide from today's training, whether it's a copy of David's book, or whether it's joining us in any of David's upcoming travels, including Los Angeles, including Hollywood and Boca, Florida, Atlanta, Nashville, Phoenix, San Francisco, and Las Vegas over the next few weeks, all you have to do is email and direct David@dmeltzer.com. They'll be happy to send the book, send the guide, and send you information on how you can join him in person. I promise you, it only takes about 1 second and it will change your life. So please email david@dmeltzer.com, which can also be found in the room chat. Now, with that said, David, we will go ahead and open it up for Q&A here live on Clubhouse. And we have your 2 favorite letters of the alphabet, Gigi, who has been waiting patiently. So Gigi, happy Friday. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask David your question.
Hello, happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
So I just learned this right now, and speaking of open questions, and for me it was a straight. So let's say I go to someone and they apply the open question, and I'm like, oh, they're closed-minded, and then I get frustrated, and then I become closed-minded person because of that when you're frustrated. So I come from the open-mindedness, and in a few seconds I go to closed mind. How can we avoid that when we're applying these principles? Because I know I do that. So for
Great
me,
question.
like, how can I apply that? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Gigi, and thank you always for being here to support our community. So this is another area of understanding. So many of us have difficulty identifying that fear of frustration, anxiety, anger, guilt, resentment, or offense, separation, inferiority, superiority, and so on. It's hard to identify fear because most fear that's difficult to understand or find or be aware of is inside of us, in our past. And our past is infinite. So it's inside of us, defined by not only our genetics, but also our energetics and the void shortages, obstacles, traumas that we've blacked out, ignored, or denied, defining moments, historical relevances. There's so many different variables that are involved in the fear of the past and the fear that exists inside of us. Look, the fear outside of us is usually really easy to see, right? Oh my goodness, I'm looking down off the top of a skyscraper. That's scary, or there's a saber-toothed tiger about to eat me. Scary. But equal to, because there's no big or small when it comes to fear, is things that may have happened in past lives or when we were children. Abuse, bullying, things that we don't even realize have impacted us. Our parents and grandparents have said to us that activate the genetic and energetic inheritance that we have. And so instead of trying to identify the fear, identify the frustration, identify the patterns that are created to how we react to fear, because those are easy to be aware of. It's easy to know we're angry, upset. It's easy to know that we are anxious, depressed. It's easy to know that we resent someone or we're offended. And so instead of trying to figure out initially the fear, especially the fear inside or in the past, instead, let's look at the patterns of how we react to fear. And then instead of trying to resist it, go over it, under it, through it, around it, out logic it, go ahead and not whatever you're doing today to create more distance of resistance between you and the behavior you have and the results that you want. I want you to practice identifying when your mind, body, and soul are on fire. And it's easy. And instead of adding gasoline to that fire, just stop, breathe, and remind yourself of the abundant, unified system that you belong to. Remind yourself that there's something bigger than you that's omniscient and all-powerful. Remind yourself that the omniscient and all-powerful, unified, abundant, infinite system loves you, protects you, promotes you more than your mom. And as you remind, remember, and recollect that, now you can get back to center, to ease. It will shorten the distance of resistance created by that dis-ease that you call frustration. And as we shorten the distance, and instead of spending days, weeks, months, and years upset about something that's happened in the past, we simply spend minutes and moments and roll into an abundant, infinite system that is at ease and providing us more than enough, by giving us more than enough so we can focus in on receiving all that we're given. So I don't want you to waste so much time exploring, you can do that with your therapist, you can do meditation, you can do that through all types of different modalities and methodologies that you can plan for. But in the moment when you feel frustrated, know that your mind, your body, and soul are on fire. And when you're on fire, you got to stop, you got to drop, and you got to roll back to your potential, to what you want, who you can help, who can help you, how best to get that done, and reprioritize the 24 hours that you're guaranteed every day to apply your why, except, of course, the last day of your life. Live your life knowing that you're guaranteed 24 hours to do this, except for the last day. And hopefully on the last day, you'll die in your sleep and get the majority of your last day as well. But if you happen to, pass in the morning, so be it. You only were cheated out of a few hours. Not bad out of 80, 90, 100, 120 years, whatever it is that you are manifesting in your journey of more than enough. It's so important not to identify fear, but identify the fire. Identify the patterns that are creating the fire. And when you identify the fire, that you're on fire, stop, drop, and roll, spend minutes and moments in interference and disease, and you will find ease that's created in your life will provide you the aggregation, the acceleration, and the compounding of results that you're looking for, or even better. Thank you so much, Gigi, for setting the stage. It is time, that's right, for Nick of Time. Nick, what's up next?
Absolutely. Let's keep it live here on Clubhouse, and then you can go ahead and take a question from online. Does that sound fair?
That sounds more than fair. You've been trained by me.
Something like that. I'd like to surround myself with the best and ask for help. Somebody gave me that wise advice one.
And I like to surround myself with kind people who love to kiss my ass. And I love that. Thank you, Nick.
It's my pleasure. We'll keep it live here on Clubhouse, and I will actually pass it over to Eric, who has been patiently waiting. So Eric, happy Friday. It's always great to see you here. Thank you for supporting Dave and showing up each and every week. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask David your question. Welcome.
Hey, Nick. Hi, David.
Hey.
First of all, I just want to say thank you for the Mastermind series. It was a transformative event, and I highly recommend everybody just go to one of those events or go to an event with Gary Vee or any of these, and just get yourself into one of these environments that you don't normally go to. Thank you for that.
You brother.
Question for you was you mentioned during one of your events that you speak for what people are listening for versus talking at somebody. Could you clarify and explain that into how it ties into the Five Drive?
Yeah, it ties into your ability to stimulate transition and share a vision. In the respect that if we ask open-ended questions pertaining to the subject matter or topic or expertise that we have or we'd like to discuss, by asking open-ended questions, we can realize not only clues of what people are listening for, knowing we all belong to a unified system of thought, and that as difficult it is for us to comprehend, all thoughts exist and cause and effect are one within the context of thoughts. What does that mean in layman terms? That means is the more interested we are in understanding where you're at, the easier it is to meet you where you're at. The easier it is to meet you where you're at, the easier it is to transition where you're at to where we want to share value. If, once again, we are more capable of understanding that sharing of quantitative value of what we're giving and we're given, and then how do we receive more of what we're given, then we can continue that alignment, not just with what they're listening for pertaining to value, but also pertaining to timing and risk. And so as we move through the process of the Five to Thrive, the idea of listening for, of being more interested than interesting, is not only giving us greater capability of stimulating interest, not only giving us greater capability of transitioning it, but also in articulating the quantitative value, understanding the invisible assumptions that we're making that may create dis or interference between what we think they hear and what they actually hear. Remember, it's not what I say, it's what you hear. And what you hear, a lot more than the words that I say, it has an integration of perception of your value. So if we are meeting minds, we are sharing a vision, if we are utilizing alignment of the timing and risk tolerance involved in that vision pertaining to our own perception and the participation in our own perception, then we have to, throughout the process, to thrive and to maintain that community of people that are going to help each other and know people that help each other, which is what you experienced, you know, whether you came to our meetup, our VIP dinners, the mastermind, all the different things that we do almost every day. We've already had 200 days planned to do this. So there's no excuse for anyone. They're free. There's some that's charged. They're in your city, whatever you want to do. There's no excuse for you not to learn how to be a part of this community of people who want to help each other and know people that can help each other. What makes it so powerful, Eric, is that we have a meeting of minds. That's why it's called the mastermind. Meeting of mind is relying upon this idea of listening for what other people value so that we can figure out, would it help you if, or do you know anyone that can help me? Which allow us to articulate that quantitative value and manage the timing and risk tolerance of that value in order to thrive. And we do it at the highest level. Billionaires, millionaires, entrepreneurs, celebrities, athletes, entertainers, in all areas. It doesn't matter if it was Dane Cook or Austin Eckler or Tillman Fertitta. It doesn't matter whether it was will.i.am or, you know, the Vance Muellers of the world. You know, there was way too many. Rob Martin, all the Raiders that were there because they were in Vegas. You know, or it doesn't matter if you're Dan Fleischman or Clinton Sparks or Tim Story or Gary Vee. It didn't matter who it was. They all shared the exact same mastermind because we were listening for each other, not speaking to. And in order to facilitate that, the only qualification that's necessary is to know that everyone in our rooms, no matter where we are, meetups, VIP dinners, masterminds, virtual shows, whatever we're doing, Friday trainings, which we've been doing for over 24 years, it doesn't matter. The only ticket you need to show up is an open mind. And people with open minds have open hearts and open hands. And if we're all listening for and not speaking to, we're going to facilitate more quantitative value. We are going to be able to give more, we will be given more, and we will be able to receive more of what we're given. And I really know that, and we'll both practice for the progress that we want, articulating the value of what we did, what we were given, and what we're working on receiving as you participated more and more, and so do other people. And I'm so glad people like you are part of my community. So thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Eric. The thumbs up there, sending a big thumbs up and a virtual hug.
Nothing better than a thumbs up.
Exactly.
Not a thumb up your ass, though. Not a thumb up your ass. Just a thumbs up, okay? You the lips are fine. The thumb is not necessary. Are you blushing? Are you blushing, Nick?
Smiling ear to ear because you bring so much happiness, joy, and value in my life. I'll tell you that. So I'm going to do a quick reset of the room. We just entered the fourth quarter. Then we can go ahead and take a question online and then come back here live on Clubhouse to close out the Incredible Power Hour. But with that said, everybody, we are in the fourth quarter with David Meltzer here in the best room and community in Clubhouse. Continue to invite all your friends, family, colleagues, anybody that you believe would benefit from this incredible conversation. And whether it's a guide from today's training, a book from David, joining him in person at all of the cities he's traveling to over the next few weeks, or even if you weren't able to get your questions answered today, all you need to do is email David directly, david@dmeltzer.com, which of course can be found in the chat as well. David, I'll turn it back over to you to go ahead and take a question online, and then we'll come back here live on Clubhouse.
Holy moly, Nick, you gotta give me a little bit. There's so many questions here that we have online. So thank you. I'm trying to pick the good one. All righty. Holy shit, which ones are good? Okay, here we go. What stands in the way of shared vision? And this is from Brenda. So what stands in your way in a shared vision is a few things. One, open mind is the first thing. So if you are dealing with a closed mind, that's going to fully hinder your ability to share a vision. And we can understand that. Next is your ability to articulate the quantitative value with 5 things: ability, emotional attachment, quantified reasons, quantified impacts, and capabilities that you have and they have in order to facilitate the alignment of the timing and risk tolerance and the acceptance of that. Those are the things that stand in the way of a shared vision. So if you're dealing with a closed mind, which is the number one reason people can't share a vision and waste the most amount of time, value, emotion, and money. But even if you're talking or speaking with an open mind who has an open heart and open hands, if you're not capable of articulating with credibility, remember the number one thing that you want to have, regardless of your ability of the other 4, is to be as credible as possible. Because, and I've never achieved this, but if I was 100% credible, it doesn't matter what I say, you'll do it. And beyond the credibility measure, we then want to make sure that we know what people like and don't like so we can have an emotional attachment. Because in the context of value, there's only 2 ways to provide value. And they're actually a combination, a 1-2 punch of credibility and emotional attachment. Remember, the only 2 ways to provide value is giving them more of what they like or taking away some or all of what they don't like. So if we don't know what they like or don't like, we're incapable of being able to share a vision value of what we want to give, what we're given, and what we can receive, and what others witness as well, which also helps facilitate an amplification of that thriving nature of people who want to buy from us and sell for us, or help each other and know people who can help each other. And so within the context of that credibility, we also have to, of course, quantify the reasons, which is mostly relying upon our own ability to articulate the invisible assumptions that people make and be able to articulate the quantitative reasons of why I'm giving you so that you are given more, and you are giving me back so I'm given more. And then both of us just need to align with the time and risk tolerance and our own ability to receive. And then we talk about impact, which became more and more valuable over the years, that more and more people value impact than they do quantifiable reasons sometimes. And so we have to be able to quantify that impact. We have to be able to articulate that impact. And then instead of doing a feature and benefit dump, we need to practice articulating the capabilities and understanding which capabilities that we have internally and externally are best aligned with the quantified value, credibility, emotional attachment, as well as the alignment of timing and risk tolerance. If we're capable of doing that, then we'll have a community of people that want to help each other and know people that can help each other. We'll have a community of people that will buy from us and sell for us for a lifetime. And then if we do that, our community will aggregate, will attract more like minds, like hearts, like hands. It will accelerate human nature, so we'll see instant gratification or the likes of, and of course, it will thrive. And so under the context of the 5 to thrive, it is very important to understand what stands in our way each step of the way. Great questions are here all over. We're on every single platform, amplifying not only, and we have replays. So if you are stimulated or want any of the guys' exercises and can't remember what I said because I speak too fast, then go ahead and just email me for the replay, david@dmeltzer.com. These are podcasts. We have over 1,700 episodes of podcasts with the biggest names in the world. Everyone from Cameron Diaz to Deepak Chopra to Joe Dispenza to Brett Favre. It doesn't matter. We've had them. Come and learn from the best how they interpret and how they articulate what their timing and risk tolerance is. Learn from all of us. Understand the common thread that we must be what we can be in an abundant, infinite system of more than enough of everything for everyone. Learn how to give, to be given, and receive, and witness it. Watch the replay, david@dmeltzer.com. Nick of time, we got 8 minutes left. A big shout out to the big Jakey Bakey, Jake Hansen's in the house. Good afternoon. All right, Nick, what do we got?
All right, let's keep it rocking and rolling live here on Clubhouse. We have Brent who has joined the stage. So Brent, happy Friday. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask David your question. Thanks so much.
Happy Friday, David, Nick. Thank you so much. How you doing today, David?
Fantastic would be an understatement, my brother. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, no, thank you. And thank you for seriously a lot, man. Back in July when I joined this program, you said, find someone that's been there and then go learn from them. So I've been doing that, and business has been going great. Everything's going great. Kind of down to this whole thing known as sales, right? So my question to you is, what is your best, not necessarily tactic, because it's all about trust. It's all about having a great product. It's all about, just shining the light and all that stuff. But how would you suggest going about learning that little, very important thing in business?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what we're doing here today, right? So I break it with the 5 to Thrive, being able to stimulate interest, transition interest, share vision, manage and develop that vision within the context of sales. One of the things in sales that's very important, Brent, that I want to make sure that I emphasize within the context of the unraveling, the revelations that occur through studying the 5 to Thrive system that is and was created for initially just selling. And then I realized that it's far beyond selling and started utilizing it to build a community of people that buy from us and sell for us, which definitely will help your sales as well. But it pertains to not only selling products, services, and solutions, but to brands and ideas as well that can empower others to be happy, to create an unbelievable, earth-shattering change, a quantum shift in the world. These are things that I'm looking at from what had started 20 years ago as a plain selling system. But in order to sell beyond the 5 to Thrive system is a differentiator that will change the quantitative sales closings that you have. What never before was more powerful in sales is your ability to get people to get back to you. And so whether it's in person, you need them to get back to you. Whether it's on the phone, you need them to call you back. Whether it's via email, you need them to email you back. Whether it's social media, you need them to DM or message you back. Why is that so important? Well, 10 years ago, all of us, it would take a minimum of a month to even be able to ask 1,000 people if they're interested. It would take us over a month to even see if we could stimulate interest of 1,000 people. But not today. If you're good at building a community and you understand branding and marketing and sales, most people can get to 1,000 people within minutes. So what becomes more important now than the methodology of asking? It's actually the methodology, because we can address so many people so quickly, our ability to get people to get back to us. And so what I'd like to train you on next, Brent, is how do we get people to get back to us? Well, it's just utilizing stimulating interest instead of selling something and dumping features and benefits. It's go ahead and utilize the qualification of open minds by getting people to get back to us by asking, would it help you if up front? Hey, give me a call. I'm interested in learning more about your product. Give me a call. I'm interested in buying your product. Hey, call me back. I want to be more interested than interesting. And because we can get in front of so many people, the greatest thing about getting people to get back to us is if we know our cyclical success that is created today. For example, if every 10 people that I ask, one person closes, that by getting 20 people to get back to me, it allows me to ask 20 people and double sales by doing the exact same thing I'm doing today without getting any better. But the irony is, through the practice, we'll create the progress that will create more sales. And so not only will we double our sales, triple our sales, or quadruple our sales doing the exact same thing by getting more people to get back to us, but we'll actually get better at what we do when people get back to us. So it's exponential, accelerated, and aggregate in compounding of how many people we close. So when we start to, number one, align the 5 to Thrive system specifically to, as I stated before, the subject matter, topic, or expertise of what you're selling, and We add in the sales process, people getting back to us in person, on the phone, via email, and media, social and traditional. We can statistically create an amazing amount more than enough that not only we can give, but we're given, and we get better at receiving it. Utilizing the 5 to Thrive system. The 5 to Thrive system was actually created for sales. And I utilize it now for everything because I understand our capability building a community of people that want to help each other and know people that can help each other, community of people that buy from me and sell for me beyond the product, services, and solutions and ideas. It works in brand, it works in philanthropy, it works in ideas, all types of different areas that we build this community for. So more than happy to send out that exercise to you and everyone else. My books, No Rule, Open-Ended Question Guide, whatever it is, go ahead, email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Also, love to see people in person. For whatever reason, much more powerful of what you're listening for and the value that I can articulate when we do it in person. So 200 cities this year, already scheduled. I'm sure there'll be more added, but please meet me in the next week. I'm in LA on Monday, SoFi Stadium on Tuesday, in Florida on Wednesday. Come visit the Rick Macy Tennis Academy. Come meet Rick Macy. He's incredible. Then I go to Atlanta with Andre Fluellen and a bunch of other incredible people in Atlanta. Then Nashville with Michael Chandler, Dr. Lacey Book, Dr. Sean Dill, Nick Cavuto. The list goes on in Nashville. Then Dan Fleischman at the Ranch. Michael Chandler's there, plus the Black Ops, Tim Kennedy, a variety of people. Come out there. Come to San Francisco when I'm there. I'll be there as well on Monday. Then on Tuesday of the next week, Super Bowl. And there's so many people that I'll be there with for the week of Super Bowl. That's almost every single day you can come and learn in person. Oh, shoot. It's 7 a.m. Pacific time. I got to rock and roll. Nick of time. We got to complete and close out the room just in the nick of time. I want to thank everybody. Remember, be interested and interesting. Email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Be kind to your future self and do good deeds. Good time. Close out the room. All right. Thank you, everyone. I want to thank you once again. I can't keep up with where I'm at. So text me, alert system like I use, so you can keep up with where we are. It's 949-298-2905. Request the replay of this. Share this with people. Whatever you want to do, guides, exercises, books, they're all here for you for free. I know we have to charge for some things because sometimes we have to pay for things, and we want to make sure that we give more as we are giving more and we're receiving more. But if you can't afford it, or you don't think it's worth it, or you want to try it out, we guarantee it. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just something free. We're here every Friday for over 24 years. I'm online every single day for free. The exercise guides and books for free. If you want to come on a private plane and do a mastermind, there's some expense to it. But I promise you, the more that we give, the more we're given, and I'll teach you how to receive all we're given, and I'll guarantee it. So email me, david@dmeltzer.com. I want to thank everybody here. Remember, be more interested than interested. Be kind to your future self. Do good deeds. I will see you wherever, whenever in the next 200 scheduled things that we're doing, but we're doing something every day. God bless all of you. Thank you. Have a great day.